right, guys, my people, we don't come again for this Peter Obi statement of one-term president. There's a different reactions this time. I want you guys to take this together.
You know, in this country, we have what we call free speech enshrined in our constitution. You know, you have the capacity to say what you like and how you like it, for as long as you don't abuse or blackmail anybody to a point that might necessitate his going to court to challenge what you have said. But I have to start by saying that, you know, democracy depends on, you know, several doses of civility. And the underlying word is civility, which most people, even in politics, do not understand. And because they don't, they exhibit some form of a reflective instinct towards self-preservation. And this reflective instinct that gives them rise to self-preservation makes them be stoking paranoia, you know, and it's a very dangerous thing to happen. So you see people who take oath for unsurpassed devotion to duty, when indeed what they mean is to have taken oath for unsurpassed devotion to stealing money. And that's why the country has not moved. So coming back to your question, you know, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, most people, the elite, the so-called educated, tend to forget that the Constitution says 4-year term. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria gives you a 4-year term. It's only, so that Constitution presumes that in 4 years, you should be able to make an impression, an impactful, you know, impression on your society. It's only when you do very, very well and you desire for a second term that you ask for a second term, which they may or may not give you. Because there are many places in this country where people zone offices just for 4 years. You do and somebody else goes. It doesn't mean that you must finish what you started, but if you have a project that is good and somebody else comes in, he will finish it. And I give you an example. If you come into Enugu now, we have one of the best governors in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Most of the projects abandoned over the past 16, 20 years. Coming to Enugu is like you're entering London. Beautiful. You can see how the governor is, you know, rehabilitating and finishing all the projects. So, in effect, Peter saying that he will do 4 years, I think it is sacrosanct. It's by all standards in Nigerian politics, is a very honest person, a good Christian. He doesn't talk from both sides of his mouth. So I believe him that he will do it in 4 years. Anybody, if you discuss, I would like people to have him on television on this Arise platform. And if you listen to him, you will see and believe that he will do everything he wants to do, maybe not 100%, in 4 years. That's what the Constitution presupposes, that if they felt that you can't do most things you have pledged to do in 4 years, they would have said, giving it 5 or 6 years. So Peter hasn't said anything out of point. It's his belief that in 1 year, you should be able to do proper analysis, even before you come into office. Do a proper analysis for what your vision is and how to implement that vision. The only thing that people have a vision of stealing money, and all the time they are thinking of how to steal that money, and not anything that will be impactful to the common people.
But Chief, how about Wike's PDP and the proposal that Mr. Peter Obi should return to Wike's PDP?
Well, you see, like I normally say, the last interview I had on this platform, I said the problem with Wike, people, you know, I don't believe in going to the end result without going where the experiment started. You know, some years ago, the whole 17 Southern governors, PDP and APC alike, met at Asaba and decided that all candidates of the two major political parties for the presidency must come from the South. APC did the same thing. PDP did not do it. The zoning committee that was headed by Samuel Otom, former governor of Benue State, who was supposed to, because Governor of Ugwan Ifeanyi of Enugu State headed the committee for zoning party offices, and the zone chairmanship to the north and secretary to the south, which was obeyed. The one headed by Otom was supposed to zone elective offices, and coming to presidency, he remained silent, which was regarded as sabotage. And that time I mentioned it, that something is amiss. It was that silence that enabled Atiku Abubakar to run, because his party did not zone anything to anywhere. Unfortunately, he ran and he lost. So since then, the crisis has been on and on. It is that crisis that Wike took advantage of because he ran in that election, himself and a couple of other people, and had believed that if he ran and without the interference of Atiku Abubakar, he would have won and possibly would have been president of Nigeria today. So since then, things have not been normal between Wike and the PDP. In fact, 2 months to that election in 2003, I traveled to Port Harcourt and I met with him for hours before I came back to Enugu. So to appeal to him, let bygone be bygone, that our party is supreme. Let us try to win election. But he didn't quite accept my plea. So like I said, constitutionally he has free speech, free behavior pattern, anything, free association. So he decided that with what PDP did, that there was no basis of trusting them anymore, unfortunately.
Okay.
So like I said, P2B is a viable product that any party that has him will have some level of advantage.
Okay.
It's a reference point in this country.
Okay.
By all means.
Chief,
so if PDP desires to approach him,
okay,
I will support that.
Okay, Chief, I know you're a strong member of the PDP, but is it fair to bring a Peter Obi into the disarray called the PDP, as the PDP is being run by Wike as we speak? Somebody that has said it can cause crisis if things don't go his way. He has caused crisis before, put you in limbo. Because as far as I'm concerned, Chief, you might want to oppose me. Wike owns PDP as we speak today. Tomorrow, things might change. That's why I say you have a right. It's free speech to oppose me. Wike owns PDP today. In fact, I sang a song this morning. Yes. I said he's got the PDP in his hands. So that's where Wike stands today. So you think it's fair to bring a Peter Obi into that fray? What about the talk of Goodluck Jonathan also being mentioned in some quarters within the folk of the PDP? And you ask a question, let me play devil's advocate. You say, why are people going to the APC? They are going to the APC because APC is in power. Your party has not been in power for over how many years now? Going to 10 years or over 10 years. They are going to APC because it gives them stability. One person owns your party. APC has been able to wriggle their way through their challenges. They are going to APC because the party has the president and they feel they are on a better footing as we speak. So they are going for a better option as we speak today. The APC is a whole lot better than your party that is in disarray, that you don't even know what the future or the next thing is from. Chief, probably if people like you were approached by the APC today, you would like to go to certainty also. Is APC not certainty? Is PDP not uncertainty? As Wike stated back in the days, APC is cancer, PDP is malaria. Today, APC is malaria, PDP is cancer. What do you say to that, Chief?
Well, you have used very strong words, Rufai. I like your analysis very much. But, the human behavior is not a function of statistics. In politics, most times 1 + 1 is not 2. In fact, it could be 100. And once people accept it, it becomes the official figure. So that people are leaving PDP to go to APC does not make APC any better than PDP. It shows that people have no values. That is why the country is now moving. You don't know where somebody, okay, look at the president of Senate, for instance. He was an 8-year governor of Akwa Ibom State. There are many of them like that. Recently, the whole Delta moved to APC. Akwa Ibom just moved to APC. Can you tell me as a journalist, what is it they will find in APC that they could not do in Rivers State, in Delta State or Akwa Ibom State, where as PDP governor, they were performing and doing very well. So people who don't have values, and when they don't have values, they are given to accepting anything that comes before them. I have been in PDP now since the inception of the party. I have not been a commissioner, not a director of anything. But most of the sensitive things they do, they invite me. I was chairman of the screening party for screening panel for Northeast in 2003. 2010, I screened the whole Northeast. Most of our governors today passed through me. These are the kind of resolve you have as a party member to make a contribution, not necessarily pecunious. A lot of people come into this business because they want to make money. And that is why the country is not moving. We must have to have honor and values that you cherish. If you don't have that, And like I said, somebody moving, I see the comments being made even on your station about the hunger in this country. From the time of Buhari, as far as I was concerned, that was 8 years of no governance. Nothing happened. And then President Tinubu came up. And in difference to Tinubu, I said, anybody else coming into office after Buhari would have had the same problem Tinubu is having. The only thing that he might have a different methodology to be able to iron out things. The country has slumped so much that there's no magic. You only need some level of determination to do something. And if people desire that Peter Obi, from his record as governor of Anambra State, his integrity, his honesty, he's one governor, nobody has ever pointed an accusing finger on him, positive or negative, negative. Every reference made of Peter Obi is positive. And this country requires somebody like him, at least to give hope. Governance is not just about only constructing road and doing that. You give hope. Because politics depends on doses of stability. This stability we haven't seen. And it's talking paranoia.
Sir, with due respect, is this Chief Dan Ulasi I'm talking to?
Yes.
You, the same you that spoke against Peter Obi, as of 2017, that said he divided Anambra. The same you, Chief. Is it you that are speaking today glowingly about Peter Obi? Because I'm surprised.
Why don't you put... Excuse me, put me in proper perspective. I said in that interview, I think it was on this channel, that we were with him in a meeting. We had a meeting in Enugu and went to Oka, and he told us that he was desirous of, being a presidential candidate. And thereafter, he left the PDP and went to Labour Party. And I condemned it. If not on your station, on AIT or other stations, I condemned it. I didn't harbor that behavior pattern. And I told him, he came to my house, I said, what you did was, unfortunate. But still, even though he did that and I didn't like it, he had the right to do it. He had the right, he had the constitutional right to do it. That is how he wanted to, exhibit his interest in political leadership. But I didn't support that. So what I'm saying is not in contradiction to what I said in the past. Absolutely not. And since then, have I left PDP myself? I have not.
Okay, Chief.
But if PDP sees that as a good candidate, like you said we are cancerous now, which I don't believe. We have 10 governors. And these 10 governors can come together honestly and sincerely to see a committee that can reorganize this party. The sky will be our limit.
But Chief, no,
we can challenge this government.
Chief, you are mistaking my point. Chief, you had condemned and you had constantly, there are facts on ground that you are constantly being at loggerheads against Obi about his tenure in Anambra. So it is the same tenure that you were against in Anambra and Obi's politics in Anambra that you are praising him today, that is a man of integrity and all of that. I'm asking you, Chief, what changed? That's all I'm asking.
Can I put it to you?
Put it to me, Chief.
Excuse me, I put it to you. What you are saying is fallacy of generalization. I have never condemned Peter Obi's governorship in Anambra State.
Okay, Chief,
if you present that fact, I will resign today from political process in this country.
Chief.
No, excuse me, Dr. Ruben.
No.
He cannot put into my mouth what I did not say. I've never condemned Peter Obi.
I'm not going to say much on this, but tonight, 7 p.m. Nigerian time, we are going to be extensively discussing this holistically. My people, join us every day, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Let's continue to talk about the things that's affecting you and I. Take care, guys, and bye for now.